Currently 6:46 p.m. Let's go ahead and take a look at the time so you can see it's crossing path right now while the entity is monitoring evidence. That's all going to be used against the entity that's fully aware of the fact that an American citizen is enforcing their rights, provides context with regard to the measure of the crime exacted against the life of an American citizen that the government and the people of the state kept under surveillance while monitoring documentation. So speaking to this window right here where the people of the state are crossing path, it's criminal activity when they're walking by, driving by, flying by. It's criminal activity. This is the light source. Okay, so you can see it's right here. And there is indeed engineered light all over my bed. This is where the entity is maintaining a light source and it's reaching the wall. Absolutely impossible light activity. Light that, again, underneath hallways, underneath covered structures. This is reaching into horizontally, and it's also at the same location where I was at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm capturing video right now at 6:36 is the goal time. I'm starting it at 6:37 specifically, 60-second negligible difference. Nonetheless, the point is that yesterday I remain in Kern County, Bakersfield, California, where the Kern County Sheriff's Department, the Kern County Fire Department, we're engaged in the state's pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring, which is the state's demonic system of keeping an American citizen under surveillance, and every aspect of that pattern of conduct is satanic at its core. It is criminal because the government doesn't have a right to stalk you, doesn't have a right to group stalk you, doesn't have a right to keep you under surveillance, not in person. That's group stalking, that's state surveillance while maintaining presence all around you at all times. It's also demonic to engage in group stalking, which is what the state of California is doing. And it's also occurring everywhere. This is why I can go to San Diego County. This is why I can go to Las Vegas, Nevada. This is why I can go to Kern County, and the same exact pattern of conduct is underway. And this, beyond a reasonable doubt, is establishing the state's P.O.C. Again, the entity is maintaining a light source as I am capturing. Let me do a screenshot because there is nothing more vivid than seeing, oops, sorry, let me close that. Nothing more vivid than seeing the juxtaposition of two crime scenes. And this is a crime scene where the entity is maintaining the light source through my hotel window. I am in AZUSA, California. I am nowhere near Bakersfield in Kern County. And the address here again is 229 South Azusa Avenue in Azusa, California. And not only at this time yesterday, which you could see the time sheet, the time of the timestamp specifically. The video starts at 6:46 where the entity begins terrorizing me. And what you'll see is the pattern of conduct as you saw this morning, where the entity was group stalking by helicopter this morning. And the entity is doing so. Wow, this is the light source as I walk downstairs and moving as I move, which is the stalking with the fake sun. And even while it remains at the address at the end of the day, that's stalking with the fake sun, as I am in Los Angeles County, Azusa, California, and I'm in Kern County at the same time yesterday. That's evidence of what is stalking with a fake sun. And where the entity is stalking with the fake sun, that is where the demon possessed are engaging in the criminal system of surveillance. So you will see the entity maintaining a light source and stalking with helicopters is occurring in that environment. This is what you'll see Kern County doing while the light source is remaining at the same address that it was this morning, where you saw, again, the Azusa Police Department, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department engaging in state surveillance, flying over my head in a blue and black helicopter, flying over my head in a red and white helicopter. And what you also see over my head is the scientific impossibility with regard to what you see still at the same hotel while I'm looking out the hotel window when I go downstairs to the parking lot when you could still see it. This is the light source that's directly over me. This is where the entity is engaging in what is stalking. The specific environment is where you're getting the definition and understanding what is a demonic, and the presence of any and everyone in that demonic environment, which is for the purpose of remaining around you for the duration of the day. It's the abnormal, the unnatural environment. That's recognizing what is stalking you as an entity. Okay, that's recognizing the stalking. The entity engages in the hallmark of stalking as an entity using helicopters. And that's what you saw this morning. This is what I am documenting, where the entity is engaging in that pattern of conduct. And so I just want to go ahead and capture that again. So that is the very But I'm speaking to this third party that needs to go to federal prison for what they're engaging in right now. All right, the police departments and sheriff's departments don't have any warrant to engage in this type of conduct, and the demons that are driving in ambulances, stalking with them, it's entirely pathetic. But I'm speaking to this one going to federal prison for this CWR 9522. It's not different from what McDonald's is doing. You are just conditioning your eyes and your mind around the fact that this is a pre-existing building, a business, but they're actually engaging in what is surveillance openly. That's what this country is doing. And you're recognizing surveillance based on the maintenance of a specific environment, as opposed to, for example, a specific person following you around everywhere, the traditional definition of stalking. The demon possessed are engaging in what is a vacillation of faces, even different locations and the same environment at all times of the day, characterized by what is not possibly the sun, as it remains over me all day long. And it's highlighted as I go to even to a different state, and you'll see that same lights. Well, you'll see the same environment. The light source is in a position directly over me where it's impossible to reconcile that same environment when I'm in, for example, Ontario, California, even down to the same time as the level of detail and specificity that I provided with regard to my documentation. The demonic is highly malicious, where you're keeping the environment, which is showing what demons are doing, demons that are an entity. The public entity is engaging in what is the demonic, stalking you as an entity while that environment remains perpetually around you, not just during the day where you can readily identify it under the fake sun, but also at night where that impossible light activity, that engineered light remains present. This engineered light, this engineered environment, this specific environment is integral to what is group stalking. Group stalking is demonic. Group stalking is that which only the demon possessed are engaging in. It's monitoring an American citizen, which is unconstitutional. This is the combination. This is the criminalization of the demonic, because the government doesn't have any constitutional basis to keep you under surveillance, which is what you're doing when you're group stalking. And the government is group stalking in the specific environment. The hallmark is following me around. That's recognizing the demonic method of stalking someone, very highly malicious criminal conduct by a government using helicopters. And so this is what you'll see. In state surveillance and doing so through commercial means. That's what McDonald's represents. This demon, however, goes out of their way to drive and stay. Oh yeah, he's going. Thank you. He's going to federal prison. CWR 9. So what I captured right there was helicopter activity. That's why I got so excited right there. Not excited as far as a good thing, but excited insofar as the evidence, which is what needs to happen anyway with regard to a population openly threatening your life by going to a facilitating venue like McDonald's, sitting right in front of you and group stalking you. That is, group stalking is a conspiracy by government to kidnap and murder you. The entity does this in plain view because no one is supposed to recognize or be aware of, nor are you able to. The entity presupposes that you're not capable of reporting effectively to any result that's going to matter before they murder or kidnap you, permanently silence you. The fact that somebody is targeting you, a stranger even, is targeting you, and it's not just that person, they represent an entity. And so that's why I'm getting excited, because it is justice that this demon goes to federal prison, and that's exactly what stalking and helicopter justifies. And so that's what that video evidence was capturing. There is more. I accidentally zoomed out, so let me go back to this video because what you're seeing that occurred this morning on video is exactly what was occurring yesterday evening, because the fake sun remains over me. So outside of the time right now, you're looking at the pattern of what is the fake sun that remains. You're looking at the crime scene, the specific environment, stalking in helicopters. Also, the entity's engagement in criminal acts of obstruction of justice. I'm targeting the entity that's targeting me. I'm targeting them with evidence. And so I'm in my car, okay, on my phone, documenting by podcast and capturing images and video, which the entity knows about, because they're engaged in federal stalking. And that's how you have not only you're recognizing the pattern, because the fake sun is in Bakersfield in Kern County, where I have never been, and the sun cannot possibly be in alignment to my hotel room in San Diego at Fairfield and by Marriott, and also in alignment to my bedroom window, where day in and day out the sun was rising and setting while I was remaining inside of my apartment at Alvarado Gardens, where LAPD and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department were group stalking. This is the entity that's keeping a fake sun. Now that I go to Kern County, it's outside of the driver's side of my window. That video I'm going to look at right now, we're going to look at together. But this is what the entity is doing, and you're recognizing the pattern of doing so under the fake sun. That's the significance of recognizing what was documented this morning by, again, different law enforcement agencies, right? These are actually covert terrorist organizations. And it's not covert anymore because it's exposed. And it's also going to be a matter of a federal prosecution. And terrorist organizations are not American whatsoever. It's entirely un-American. In fact, terrorists are put in places like Guantanamo Bay. Domestic terrorists like Robert Luna, domestic terrorists like Rocky Winrick are those that need to be prosecuted under federal law, because there's no ambiguity or vagueness, nor is there ignorance with regard to these criminal and pattern of conduct underway by these departments, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, the AZUSA Police Department. Remember, they're engaging in a statewide pattern of conduct. San Diego County is engaged in this pattern of conduct. San Bernardino County is engaged in this pattern of conduct. Los Angeles County is engaged in this pattern of conduct. Riverside County is engaged in this pattern of conduct. You now are looking at Kern County engaged in this pattern of conduct. You have Orange County engaged in this pattern of conduct. You are not ignorantly engaging in a pattern of conduct as a department. You are engaging in that which is a code of conduct in the state, a criminal system. That is the conspiracy to murder and kidnap someone. The heads of these terrorist organizations that are not legitimate law enforcement agencies are fully candidates for federal prison upon federal prosecution, in addition to removing them from the positions that they are holding for those that will not engage in and facilitate public corruption, while engaging in the most despicable and most hypocritical conduct as a government actor that you can engage in, which is publicly representing yourself as someone noble, professional, respectable, honorable, all right, law-abiding, and you are everything but that as a Satan-serving, highly corrupt, malicious criminal actor. These are murderers and kidnappers. And I'm stating that because people lose their lives while this exercise of fictitious authority, while these corrupt terrorist organizations are masquerading, playing cops and robbers, while people are losing their lives. They don't even have legal authority. They should not even be in custody of weapons, by the way. This demon possession, you're aware of the personality defects. These are demons that are chief of police. These are demons that are county sheriffs. These are demons that are on the forces, engaging in public corruption. They're group stalking. They are group stalking. Group stalking is very specific. It's not like an ordinary, well, I don't want to say ordinary because you shouldn't be robbing a bank, but it's distinct from just robbing a bank. Robbing a bank in particular does not have a prerequisite of being demon possessed. Group stalking is specifically demonic. The demon possessed are group stalking. This system of surveillance is occurring amongst those who are literally servants of Satan. It's specifically demonic, and every aspect of it is demonic. Even the malice with which the entity engages in it is revealing the demonic. And so this is what I captured this morning. And you're looking at the light source where the entity then is stalking in helicopter. This isn't possibly the sun.
CWR 9522. The entity stalking by helicopter. He's going to federal prison. So there you go. Hi. You know what?
All right, the entity crosses path. He's openly engaging in surveillance. This is the malice. This is the entity, a population that does so. And then as you document their criminal conduct, the fact that they're covert agents of a corrupt government that's keeping you under surveillance, conspiring to murder and kidnap you, oppress you, silence you, all right, obstruct justice, in other words. And as you document that, their criminal conduct, the entity threatens your life by stalking you openly. And they were stalking the whole time. The moment that you begin documenting it, this is the pattern. The entity that knows what it is that you're doing on the internet and on communication devices engages in the pattern of criminal acts of obstruction of justice intending to intimidate you, threaten you, harass you, terrorize you by stalking you in the specific environment in helicopters.
The employees inside of the venue are going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. I want you to see this because that's why they're going. They're flying right next to the fake sun that's hovering on the ground. They're not set on fire. And there's also no sun in Sherman Oaks, California. This is my shadow right here. And the AZUSA police, you're talking about going to federal prison because this demon's name is going to be produced. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is engaged. That's a blue and white helicopter. And the people of the state openly engage in stalking you and terrorizing you right along with him. He's going to federal prison. Title 18 federal stalking is going to federal prison for that. And they're monitoring together.
And then seconds later,
honing in more so, and this is what the population does. This is a demon that engages in molestation with engineered light. This is a demon that engages in stalking amongst amplified audible activity. This represents what is a man stalking a woman, lurking in the middle of the night, stalking and molesting with engineered light. That's what makes up these demon-possessed terrorist organizations as well. The AZUSA Police Department is acting in conformity to the same exact P.O.C. This demon's going to federal prison. That demon's stalking in a helicopter. They're going to federal prison. And I want to be clear, the entire Los Angeles Sheriff's Department Robert Luna, who is over it, one of the largest in the country, and it's also the most diabolical. All right, and the entity is going to be fully prosecuted for that. That's a second.
Seconds later, another helicopter, while the fake sun, that which is not even the sun, that which is the light source that you're still seeing outside of the same hotel window. I was standing outside at this same parking lot at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's at the same location, aiming impossible, that which is not possibly sunlight either, not only based on the duration of time that this alleged sun, it's not possibly the sun, nor is that sunlight. That's speaking to the ongoing elements of monitoring, being monitored, being kept under surveillance. Stalking in helicopters is readily identified. Doing so in a red and white helicopter seconds later. This is demonic pacing. This is open engagement and what is literally spectacular methods of terrorizing and psychologically torturing an American citizen.
Oh, this is sad. He's going to federal prison. This is sad. This is ongoing. He's doing ongoing confirmation of what he's doing because the feds are going to prosecute that directly and vicariously.
And they're doing it while the fake sun remains directly over me. This was at 10:58 in the morning. The video ended at 11:05. What you will see with regard to what the entity is doing right now, which is, first of all, let's look at the maintenance of the light source. That's why I started this video, because the light source is still present. Hold on one second. Here we go. The light source is still present. This is what you're looking at. And this is the pattern that you see Kern County Sheriff's Department engaging in. This is stalking in a helicopter.
Ready. This is P.O.C. right here.
And this
Criminal
is not
presence in the
in
path
alignment.
while the entity is stalking in a helicopter, pacing back and forth. This is what Kern County Sheriff's Department is engaging in, group stalking. This is what the Kern County Fire Department is engaging in, group stalking with demons like the people of the state who I've identified on the podcast, and they're going to federal.
Okay, so first of all, on the ground, there is highlighted, the ground is being lit up by light while this third party is clearly engaging in what is
P.O.C.
crossing path. Okay, first of all, the fake sun is to the driver's side and light is appearing on the ground. That's engineered light, impossible light activity. That's identification of a third party. In addition to that, the identification of a third party is a light source, the fake sun that's over me in Kern County, which is not in alignment with my hotel window in Azusa, California, or the hotel window in San Diego, California, where I was the day before that. Nor is this at the apartment complex where I was living and working at Alpharetta Gardens in Los Angeles, Glendale area. This is the pattern of conduct where you're looking at the light source, and it is clearly here while you see impossible light activity appearing in the corner, and while I move my hand at the window where the fake sun is, and so allegedly this is supposed to be sunlight, and as I move my hand, the entity is engaging what is light activity creation in a method that's impossible. So I just want to be clear. Hold on, there you go. This is impossible light activity while I move my hand here. This is light that is ricocheting off of, this isn't sunlight. It's impossible light activity. It's appearing in the corner. This is engineered light. It's not sunlight. And that's also not the sun. And you see it in perfect alignment with my vehicle, which you'll see in this video on the bottom that was captured yesterday at 6:46, where I'm in Kern County, not in Azusa, California. That the two are not happening. And what's happening in Kern County is not seen out of my hotel window in Azusa, California. And never would it be the sun. Also, common sense, because it's at this in alignment to the same location where I'm at. The entities has engineered light crossing path demons. Then that's what the whole hotel, the business is corrupt. The people of the state are corrupt, engaging in what is a matter of public corruption. That's relevant for people like Robert Luna and Rocky Winrick. Okay, dangerous and corrupt leadership where they are engaging, trying to sacrifice American citizens, because this is a satanic targeting system. It is satanic in every regard. So the entity is engaging in this conduct, and I want you to see what the entity is still doing while a third party crosses path. They're still monitoring. They're still monitoring on my phone right now. The entity does what it does, meaning you cross this path with knowledge of what's happening on my phone. So as you saw the screen change, a demon is crossing path driving. That's called stalking with activity. These are the demon possessed that are engaged in Title 18. And the engineered light is appearing, ricocheting off of the windows on the outside, and then also piercing through the windows on the inside, in a matter that clearly shows that there's no sun in Kern, California. That was a light source that's in alignment to my vehicle, and that's what you see here. The entity is driving in the specific environment, and this is a third party who's group stalking with Kern County by using traffic, which is a means of massive surveillance in the state of California, where we primarily rely on vehicles to get around, and it's a massive means of surveillance. It's a massive means of corporate invasion of privacy, Title 18 surveillance, and sexual violence, while keeping an American citizen under surveillance and such means amongst the population that is also demon possessed, and is doing so inside of a private space. Okay, this is What I captured yesterday again.
Criminal presence in the path while the entity is stalking in a helicopter, pacing back and forth. This is what County Sheriff's Department is engaging in group stalking. This is what the Kern County Fire Department is engaging in group stalking with demons like the people of the state who I've identified on the podcast, and they're going to federal prison. This is the exact same thing that the Los Angeles Police Department were engaging in, and it is occurring while a fake sun remains direct to me. That's how you're identifying demons who are engaging in surveillance, which is demonic in nature.
Okay, so this light source is not this light source that's outside of my home. And I'm not laughing because this is a funny matter, group stalking. I'm laughing because it is so absurdly ridiculous, which is synonymous with what is outright clearly unnatural. It's demonic. Okay, and that's just paying attention to it, and documentation is the best way for the world to witness what Satan is doing. Be aware, Satan is real, high-level deception underway right now, even with regard to the natural environment, as we have been conditioned to understand and think that, and been told how the natural environment operates. And this is not the natural environment. In the specific environment is where a public entity in California is engaging on demonic methods of keeping an American citizen under surveillance, and it's a violent sex offense that the entire population will be prosecuted for, and a state, a public entity. This is new under federal law, a government to be prosecuted as a sex offender. A perpetual sex offender is how I refer to it, because all the demonic means of monitoring are an ongoing perpetual sex offense against the person, against the privacy, against the sanctity of that targeted individual, who is their person is always being violated, their privacy is always being violated. The entity is literally stalking with activity in sexually perverted and sexually motivated predatory manners. It is a perpetual sex offense that a government is engaged in, including in the ways in which they're stalking in whatever method, from helicopter to merely just driving by, as they engage in the elements of monitoring. Sexual violence is built into the pattern of conduct. And this light source that you see at 6:46 p.m., which is inspiring my starting this video at 6:46, is not that which is possibly in alignment in the way that you see it outside of this hotel window at the same time. That is speaking to the pattern of conduct that Kern County Sheriff's Department are documented as engaging
There
in.
you are. That's P.O.C. These two are going to federal prison, and license plate right in relevant position. So are they at Panama and S South 8th Street, I believe? License 02624S2, license 8SDS717. They're group stalking with the state that's pacing back and forth. This is the conduct that LAPD engaged in, and it's why it's plastered on the front page of the evidence against the people of the state and the state of California for engaging in state surveillance. Using helicopters to engage in terrorism and psychological torture.
People of the state crossing paths in the parking lot.
389, I believe. 8HNV723, 6JKH130, 9MKF.
Now that's recognized as one demon after another. These are third parties who are group stalking. These are demons. These are demon possessed individuals, and they are collectively engaging in group stalking on behalf of the state of California, acting via Kern County. That's how that legal analysis goes, and that's literally what's happening. It's entirely demonic. The light that's hitting the sun is a product of the fake sun. It's engineered light. They're driving an engineered light on the sidewalk. None of this is light activity that's going to occur while the light source is outside of my hotel window in Azusa, California, at 229 South Azusa Avenue in Azusa, California. The people of the state are group stalking still, crossing path, driving in the parking lot, keeping a woman under surveillance, who is exposing the fact, and that's the state of California, that's engaging in an ongoing conspiracy to murder and kidnap until the very end. And again, government actors such as Dominic Choi, such as Karen Bass, okay, such as Alan San Victoris, such as Rocky Winrick, okay, such as Kelly Martinez. Okay, the entity is engaging in conduct that is necessarily removing government actors who are demon possessed, who are highly corrupt, conspiring to murder and kidnap American citizens, whom they also are very much aware of everything that I'm capturing and speaking even about them, while they're continuously engaging what is keeping me under surveillance in concert with the people of the state, for which there is no lawful basis to do so. All right, and this is what the entity is doing, crossing path. That's the state of California. Understand, under the fake sun, they were stalking by helicopters. That's the population that goes to federal prison for that, and that's exactly what license 9LDK538 is going to. They're going to federal prison while engaging in state surveillance with the entity that engages in terrorism and psychological torture by stalking, pursuing in a specific environment readily identifiable where there is no sun, that's in alignment with my hotel window in Azusa, California, at the same time when I have today remained in what is Azusa, California from the beginning to the end of the day. Never anywhere in San Diego also, and that is impossible to be seen through this Azusa window here. That's speaking to the P.O.C. All right, and so you can see my I just want to make sure you can still see the light. So I'm going to end the video now because I'm running out of storage. But you can see this is why I'm starting the video here. And that is the pattern of conduct. The prosecution and the POC is underway in Kern County Sheriff's Department specifically, and the Kern County Fire Department, which is speaking to the state of California that's engaged in the POC. All right, it is currently 7:11 p.m. and this is POC.